Hey guys, in this lecture we are going to see about Python numbers, and there are three numeric types in Python. Okay, so one is integer, one is float, one is complex. So these are all the example of those numeric types, like x equal to 1 without a dot, which is decimal, it is integer, and y is equal to 2.8 is a float, z equal to 1j. Wherever z comes, that's a complex, which is imaginary part. Okay, so you can verify these examples by typing using type functions. Okay, so we already see using type function we can check the type of the data types of the variable. Okay, so we can try it ourselves. Yeah, you can see x is integer, y is float, z is complex, and integer type. So integer is a whole number. It can be positive or it can be negative without decimal point and of unlimited length. So it's unlimited length. You can give unlimited length without a decimal. That is a integer. Here you can see one is integer, y is equal to is also integer, z minus, but this is also integer. So similarly float. So floating point number is a number. It can be positive or negative, but containing one or more decimals. Okay, so here you can see x equal to 1.10, y is equal to 1.0, z equal to minus 35.5. So wherever the decimal comes, that's a floating type. Okay, here you can see all of float, and float can also be scientific numbers with an e to indicate the power of 10. Okay, so when you specify e and the value would be power of e, that is also floating point. Okay, here you can see it gives all our float type. Okay, so whenever the value add with the e notation, that is power of 10, and it gives us a float. So we can also check the values by printing those variables x, print y, print z. Click run. Yeah, here you can see x equal to 35,000.0, y is equal to 1,20,000. So if it is plus e to the power of plus 3, it will be power of 10. Let's say if I add e minus 3, okay, it gives 0.035. So plus is into 10 to the power of 10, and minus is minus power of minus 10. Okay, then complex. So complex numbers are written with a j as the imaginary part. Okay, so imaginary part in the sense like 3 plus 5j. So 3 is real and plus 5j is imaginary. So this is a complex. Okay, so type conversion, you can convert from one type to another type. Okay, so like you can convert this x equal to 1, which is integer, to float using float, and similarly float to integer using integer, and x to complex, integer to complex one. Okay, but you have to note, like, you cannot convert the complex number to any other type. Okay, so you can click write yourself and check. See, we are converting x equal to 1, which is by default integer, we are changing it to float, so at 1.0. Similarly 2.88 float, but we are converting to integer, so it gives 2. Similarly 1 is regularly integer, but we are converting to complex, so it gives 1 plus 0j. Okay, so random number. So Python doesn't have random function to make a random number, so instead of, we have to import the random model, so that can used to make a random numbers. So for that you need to import random, and you can use a rand range function in random model. So we can try this. Okay, so when we give range 1 comma 10, so it will give a random number from 1 to 10. Let's say if I run again, it gives 2 now. Okay, so if I run again, it gives 6 now. So this is how random method works. Like, to get a random value between 1 to 10, you need to use rand range function in the random method. Okay, so we will see more on random model reference in this coming future lecture. Okay, so exercise, which is not a legal numeric data type in Python. Okay, so long, right? So we only have integer and float complex. Okay, that is correct. Click next question. Insert the correct syntax to convert x into a floating point. Okay, so for that we can use float. Okay, yeah, click next. Insert the correction to convert this to integer. So int. Submit answer. Next question. Insert the correct syntax to convert x into complex number. So complex. Submit answer. So yeah. That's it for this lecture, guys. We will see you in next lecture. Thank you.